Hi guys, you are listening to Vol. I want to do a battle report of a game that I had over a week ago now. It's just these days focusing on other things and haven't really been keeping up with the battle reports, and I apologise for that. Everybody that has stayed true to the channel and continues to wait for new videos. But here's a remarkable one because I managed to rope Josh into playing 150 points with me. Josh, of course, being my most regular wargaming opponent of all time through the Warhammer Fantasy years and War Machine as well. And we've both, in that time, amassed some very big collections. I've got my circle here, all painted, and he's got a Cygnar, although he's using quite a lot of mercenaries for this game. At this stage, my circle army painted probably gets between 200 and 250, and we didn't decide to go that far, but this is a game that basically we had 2-hour death clock for. We knew that it would not be enough time to play the game out, but we did at least get to a point where it was, fairly clear who had the advantage. Scenario, just the one with the two big circles. I can't remember what it's called, and of course house in the middle. Have a look at the video description. I'll try and post up my army lists if I can find it. In fact, scratch that. I don't think I have the lists anymore, but the photos will be a good indication of what was actually in the lists. Now this is a 3-caster format. 3 casters, 150 points. Obviously each caster adds his points discount to the battle group that he has, and you have to distinguish your battle groups between each casters. So I am playing eKrueger, eBaldur, and eMorvahna, while Josh has gone for eHaley, boo, Kane, and pStryker, who I think is really cool. And let's go through it. Here's a photo of my Waldrath once again, and Krueger and Baldur are taking up the middle, while Morvahna is obscured by the Celestial Fulcrum in the background. She's over on the left flank, supporting the Stalkers and Druids and Skinwalkers. All very good, compliments for her, while the other guys are just helping the Wolds go through the centre. Next photo shows you a bit more of that battle group. You can see the hideously stupid source lighting on the fulcrum, although in some photos it actually looks pretty cool. And, a better look at the army. You can see Gitterix in there in the middle as well. Gitterix is with Krueger's battle group, if I recall correctly. Next image, Josh with his Nis Hunters, Boom Howlers, Gun Mages, Forge Guard. I managed to win the dice roll to start the game, and I opted to go second. I cannot understate how important going second is in these massive games, because the significance of deploying a unit that counters another unit opposite it is far more important than sort of that little bit of extra room you get going into the middle of the table. It's just crucial, and especially with Colossals on the field, you want to be able to put things opposite their Colossal that you can deal with it. So there you have it. Next image, Josh has got the Stormstrider as well, of course. You want to field all your big models in this sort of large-scale game. And eHaley should slow the game down quite a bit when it's a feat turn, but we'll see if the circle can deal with that anyway. Next image, Josh moves forward. It's pretty straightforward first turn, doesn't take up too much time, but it's all in there, just everything runs. I think the Stormwall picked up snipe from pStryker and tried to shoot something, but was out of range, so he's put down his covering fires. Next, my first turn, everything again rushing forward, but I've got the Druid smoke screen, which unfortunately will not help the Waldrath or the Fulcrum, but I've used the Wold Warden at the back, who is in Baldur's battle group, to put Roots of the Earth on the Fulcrum to help it against the Stormwall's guns. And on the other flank there's the Blood Trackers with the help of Zombify, and there's a rock wall there just to help protect Nuala. The prey target being Boomhowlers here, but we've also got a Totem Hunter and Wolf Riders which preyed his Grenadier, which promptly ran away, and I thought that was a good move there by Josh. Next image, a bit of an overview look. You can even see the Lord of the Feast and Gallows Groves in behind the house, and everything is benefiting from the Fog of War that Morvahna has used here, which is pretty cool. The Druids putting up their clouds, not so much because they need the concealment, they're getting that from Fog of War, but the rest of the army can benefit with the line of sight blocking of the smoke screens. Next image, Josh sort of getting into it here, second turn, moving forward and trying to do some shooting. He's put the Ranger there in front of my guys so that he can hit them a bit more effectively, but not too much damage inflicted by his shooting this particular round, which was fortunate, and nobody's used their feats yet. Next image, Boomhowl is jamming it up in the grill with the Bloodstrikers, which I'm happy with because they're actually prey targeting the Boomhowlers, and luckily I've got a Gallows Grove nearby which can really help with getting rid of the 4+ tough. That's just massive. And eMorvahna using the Gallows Grove to put Carnivore on the Bloodstrikers from the other side of the battlefield, mind you, which is really cool, so that they'll be able to hit the Boomhowlers much more effectively. Next image, Getorix is teleported over the other side of the house after picking up Primal, and starts hacking up the storm wall. And luckily I had eMorvahna next to him, well, within control range of him, mind you, for the rerolls, and managed to strip over half of his health, which I feel is a big deal. Arlan's going to be healing him d6 per turn, but if I can strip half his health, it means it's possible for me to, go in there with a Skinwalker charge or another heavy and finish it off, if I'm lucky, and with the help of eMorvahna's rerolls. So it forces him to be a little bit more defensive with the Storm Wall. Next image, the Waldrath has crept into the zone here. I've got eKrueger behind the building, so you can't see him. You can actually, if you look very carefully, you probably can't on YouTube, but there's a tiny point of a spear poking out. Baldur is hanging up behind the rock wall and is actually using his feet here, so my entire army, well, everything within 12 of Baldur is benefiting from the +3 armor, including Getorix. So when he goes to destroy Getorix, he'll have to use a lot of resources next turn to do that. And eMorvahna just hanging out over the other side of the battlefield with 4 transfers, no less, because I'm expected to cop a lot of flack. Headed her way, and one of the Stalkers has gone to wipe out a Stormclad back there as well. Next image, on this side of the battlefield, Skinwalkers really trying to engage everything they can. They're going to be taking a lot of damage from this brutal flank here, and I think you can probably tell just from looking at the photos that Josh is much stronger on this flank while I'm stronger on the other flank. Not because of the Colossals specifically, I mean that helps, but just the fact that it's more where our casters and our abilities have gone to, and where the units were stacked in deployment. So I'm basically hoping to slow him down a lot on this flank, preventing him from scoring points while I'm going after the control points on the other side. Next image, Rowdy moves over here to smash Getorix. Getorix is looking pretty strong here. Can't be knocked down. He's armor 20, well, it's 22 because of Unyielding and Roots of the Earth. But the Storm Wall does smack him up and gets rid of him here. Next image on this side, I think Epic Nemo has popped his feet. A lot of damage done on the Skinwalkers here as his powerful solos move past. He got Iron Holt, he got Epic Elixir and the Black 13th, plus the Thunderhead as well moving around here, and the Stormclad moving up to engage the Primaled Stalker. But still managed to hold onto this flank thanks to the Druids being quite difficult to get rid of. They're immune to lightning, of course. Next image, eKrueger has headed out from behind the building, has popped his feet, and after I killed a lot of the troops in this zone, I was able to use the feat to actually push them out of the zone. So this is the first domination here, with me picking up 2 points, needing 5 to win, so I have to dominate twice more to pick up the win here. The Wold's kind of cramped here. They can't really get many charge lanes, and the Waldrath himself can't really get across there, so he's just sitting back looking cool, because there's not a space to put all the beasts. Luckily the Waldrath has a lightning gun, and Megalith can use Roots of the Earth from Geomancy, and the Wold Guardian actually using Flesh to Clay just in case he decides to open up against me with everything he's got, which is very unlikely, but it means that he can't take these pot shots and plink him. So that's the plan there. But eKrueger only got 2 transfers, so a bit worried that the entire sort of might of the Cygnar army can bear down on him. In these large points games, you just can't be careful enough with your casters, but Baldur has moved up to put a rock wall in front of him. So I'm hoping, with Storm Wall up and 2 transfers and a rock wall, he should be okay. Next image, this is one of the best moments of the game. Josh used his feet turn to shuttle everything down, but unfortunately he forgot to have me allocate the Lord of the Feast, the activation earlier on in the phase, and he forgot. So he forced me to activate everything else first before the Lord of the Feast, so eKrueger was able to telekinesis him into a better position, and after that he basically forfeited his movement under eHaley's feet and then fired the Raven at the Storm Wall, allowing me to place it next to that huge base. And as you can see, this is a beautiful position for him to be in. The Thresher attack actually hits Arlan, Ryan, and another member of the Black 13th. It hits Ayana, and it even hits Holt as well as Alexia. So he just carved them up, just chopping away at them really nicely, and netting me so many points with the solos there, which was just golden, absolutely golden. Even under the feet turn was awesome. So next image, here's a bit of an overview. Cygnar doing pretty well on the left-hand side of this picture, but not so well on the right-hand side of the picture. For a couple of turns, I've actually not activated the Wolf Riders, partly due to forgetting and partly because they don't really have a good target to sweep in against at the stage. And he's done a similar thing with his Nis Hunters, but the gun mages themselves have been causing a lot of damage. eMorvahna has feated and brought back all the skinwalkers and most of the blood trackers and a couple of druids, so very good feat turn there from eMorvahna, which is always going to be the case in a large game like this. But she has hid behind the fulcrum because even with Roots of the Earth on her and a few transfers, if he wants to fire the Storm Strider and the Storm Wall at me, it's going to cause a lot of pain. So can't really be too careful with eMorvahna there. I really need all my casters to survive for as long as possible. Next image, so you can sort of see what's happened. I've scored the 2 points on the left-hand side. You can even see those green templates, which means the Walrath has fired his lightning gun and caused those electrical generators there to screen the zone a little bit, preventing him from just moving straight in there. He has to go around. Doesn't make too much difference, of course, though. Next image, Skinwalker, as you can see, has been dropped with eMorvahna's feet on the other side of the Storm Strider, so causing some terror checks, but nothing being failed of significance. And really, they're just jamming. They've done really well this game. They haven't killed that much, but they've just been a solid wall, and he's just come nowhere near to actually dominating these zones, so I'm pretty safe scenario-wise. Next image, you've got the gun mages coming around and the chain gun team, which you don't often see, trying to get some kills here on the wall stalkers. But armor 15 sometimes helps against the little mage guns, and they can't get too close, otherwise eKrueger's Storm Wall will shut them down. So feeling pretty good there. Next image, Gorman attempts to throw a black oil at the Wild Guardian, but he comes within range of eKrueger's Storm Wall, so that reduces the range of his grenade to 1, and it scatters, and I can choose the scatter direction. So the joke's on Gorman. As soon as he throws that grenade, he's instantly black oiled himself and none of my guys, which I thought was just beautiful. It was just fantastic. I love getting Gorman like that. And he has brought a what do you call Forge Guard guy in here, but can't see this guy living too long. Next image, Stormwall still hacking away at it. There is a lightning pod here, which he's trying to get some things done with. I've moved the fulcrum in to try and get rid of it and kill that Forge Guardsman back there, but it's going to be a hard time trying to get any guys in to actually finish off that Stormwall, so I can't really attempt that. But luckily, Arlan has been killed. Next image, a lot of Nis moving in here. They can't really afford to CRA the Wall Guardian with Flesh to Clay up, and he can't really get enough to bear against eKrueger, but he can get Rowdy into the zone, and this is the point that pStryker feats, so next turn I'm not really going to have an opportunity to kill the Storm Wall, the Storm Strider, and Rowdy to get him out of the zone. I'm just going to have to push him with the Ram from the Wall Guardian, but that's certainly doable. Next image, that's exactly what happens. Wall Guardian knocks Rowdy back out of the zone. As you can see here, I've actually put the Black Cloud in front of Gorman with a double teleport, and the Walrath has moved up to zap him in the back and try and actually prevent Gorman from getting around there, and it also blocks some of the Nis off from getting through. And Megalith moving up in front as well. So just dominating again. eKrueger's moved all the way to the other side of the zone, so that's 4 points for me. Just have to dominate one more time and I can win this. So next image, the Wolf Riders are running 18 inches up here, and just left them in reserve for quite a while. Some might even say that I forgot them. But regardless, the Wolf Riders will be useful coming in here and sniping anything that is going to be jamming the zone in his next turn, and that's what he's going to have to do to prevent me winning the turn after. eKrueger only has 2 transfers. He's got Stormwall. He's got no Rock Wall at the stage, but hopefully my opponent doesn't have anything that has enough left in that side, and I should be able to win it, even a caster down on scenario anyway. Next image, Thrall's coming in to knock out some of the Skinwalkers, and the Jack's over here getting into close combat with the remaining Warpful Stalker. But things are pretty solid over here. I've still got the Druids to contest the zone and the Fulcrum, which he doesn't seem to have taken out yet. But yeah, certainly taking some casualties as far as the Skinwalkers are concerned. And next, Josh having a look at what to do here as the wall template goes down in front of eKrueger and Baldur, just barely, but the two of them being there is great. eMorvahna still with 4 transfers. She's only got a couple of, she's got like 1 box left, but remember, every time a circle infantry model dies, she'll heal a hit point. But Josh's plan here that he comes up with is to attempt to shoot eMorvahna at some stage. So going to the next photo, what he tries to do is actually get rid of some of the skinwalkers and units in the way, so he can set up position to actually get line of sight with some of his bigger guns. Moving in with Thorn and taking out one of the skinwalkers, but he had a bit of a activation order mix-up here and didn't quite get things going as he wanted. On the other side, as you can see, looking pretty strong. Not really sure where I took this extra photo, but as you can see here, he hasn't really got much left on the side of the table to actually get rid of all the stuff or jam it with enough dudes to prevent me from wiping everything else out. Let's go to the next photo. He has destroyed the Fulcrum at this point and takes quite a lot of shots at eMorvahna with the big guy who has snipe on him. The problem is that eMorvahna has a full health Gorax to transfer to. The Stalkers are dead, so that's her battle group reduced to just the Gorax. But as he's been killing models to get through to eMorvahna, she's been healing. And when he does end up opening up against her, she's got Roots of the Earth. She's armor 18 or something like that, or 17. And even the big guns from the Stormwall can't get rid of her, because she has healed and she's got the transfers and her armor is enough that he's going to need to boost hit and to damage. So even with the chain guns, just wasn't going to happen. Next image, Josh actually clocked out at this point, so I officially won the game. 2 hours had gone by, he'd used it half an hour earlier than I did, and just because I really wanted to, I decided to use the victorious eMorvahna to teleport behind the other side of the house and kill pStryker. Just nailed him there using the rerolls, and Life Trader just killed him straight in the back, which was a lot of fun. And I thought that, you know, after playing such a long drawn out game for scenario, I thought, you know, about time we had some action. Next image, he has jammed the zone with quite a lot of nests, which were, you know, larger and greater in number before you saw this photo. But what's happened here is Baldur has charged Rowdy directly. He's got like 5 worm tokens on him at this point. Crushes Rowdy very easily with his awesome sword. And then we've got the Walrath moving in, making melee attacks against the Nest Hunters, which knock them all down. eKrueger's not immune to knockdown, but Megalith is. eKrueger has charged Iris, who was jamming the zone, and actually killed him, like after 3 attempts. And then Megalith chopping down a couple of other ones and attempting a crevasse but not picking it up. Rupert has sung tough on the Nest Hunters, but luckily I managed to kill enough of them. And what happens next is the Wolf Riders come around. And the next photo demonstrates the end position of the Wolf Riders, but they did manage to actually shoot the last couple of them after the Gallows Grove had moved across, finding space to land in there after some of this had been destroyed, preventing them from toughing, and allows me to dominate a 3rd time for the victory. So, win to circle, and really enjoyed this game. You don't really want to play 150 points very often because it's quite a tedious affair, but it allows you to bring out a lot of interesting strategies and tactics and casters and units that you wouldn't normally do, and it makes for a really cinematic battle report. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Thanks for now.